Looking forward to bring you this episode with Michael Weaver. And those of you who use him, who have seen him, he is an industry trainer, industry voice, and he has a community of following of insurance agents from Allstate to State Farm to independent agents to farmers. So looking forward to bring you this episode, and Mike will talk about how he started on this journey, and I hope you enjoy. Hi, welcome to this episode of Industry Voice. Today, I get to interview with Michael Weaver. How are you, sir?
Hey, I'm good, man. How are you this morning?
Good. So I have been on your podcast. For those of our audience who don't know, please go over to Michael Weaver's Weaver Sales Academy podcast and check that out. We're going to put the link in the comment section. But now I get to reverse the role and invite you to my podcast.
I'm super excited. When I saw that you were doing a podcast, I was excited for you, Jeff. You're one of the best out there. We loved having you on our podcast. If any of you have never heard of the Insurance Buzz, make sure you check it out. But yeah, Jeff, I appreciate the opportunity to talk shop today.
Nice. So this episode, what I want to do is take it back. Of course, talk about everything you guys got working on today, what's coming in the future, but take us back to when you first got in the industry. Why'd you get in the industry? Your journey through the industry, and then what led you start your consulting company, and what led you start your podcast. And also you're a little bit different than other founders out there. Like your wife, you have your family involved in this. So give us the goods, and I'm gonna turn the mic over to you.
All right, that's a loaded question, Jeff. There's a lot to cover. So, I got my start in the insurance industry. I'm not one of those. I don't think there's very many people that are like, I want to be an insurance agent when I grow up. So, and if there was, I was not one of those. So I actually went to college for law. So I had a idea. I wanted to be a lawyer because I wanted to make a lot of money, and being from a really small town, I grew up very blue collar. Lawyers made lots of money. So I was like, okay, I'll go to school, become a lawyer, go to law school. Well, I needed an internship to graduate from college. And so instead of going to Panama City break, that had been my junior year, before my senior year, I actually stayed around and went around to banks and law firms interviewing to try and get a job lined up for the summer for internship. And every bank and law firm I walked into felt like a funeral home. I was like, whoa, this is boring. This is going to be a miserable summer. And then they didn't want me anyway, so I didn't have to worry about it. They were all like, no, thanks. So then I went to a couple of insurance agents, and they also felt like funeral homes. But I happened to stumble into this one young insurance agency. They had really good vibes, and I was like, well, I could see myself doing this for the summer. And long story short, he also said, kick rocks, come back when you have a degree, come back when you can work full time. But I had to have an internship. So I actually showed up at his office the next morning at 8:30. He was the first one there. When I saw him get out of his car and walk in the office, I was right behind him. And I was like, look, I'm going to show up here every single morning until you give me a job, because I need a job to graduate college. And quite frankly, you're the best business that I've interviewed at that I would like to work at. And long story short, he said, hey, you can be my marketing expert, which actually meant cold calling expert, and errand boy. So ultimately, I got an opportunity. I cut my teeth cold calling for leads for his agency, and then running errands and doing all the stuff that nobody else wanted to do in the agency. And at the end of the summer, he showed me a check, and I was like, that's pretty nice. That's more than my parents make in 4 or 5 months of working full time. And he's like, well, I get 2 of these a month. And I was like, I'll be back next summer. You show me. So very money hungry, money driven at a 21-year-old. But that's how I cut my teeth in the insurance industry and got my start, man.
There was a period that you got in insurance, and from my memory, I don't know if we can talk about it, but you were in the captive agency space, right?
Yeah.
We want to talk a little bit about that one?
Yeah, man, for sure. So ultimately, I cut my teeth as a producer, and I worked for this agent for roughly about 3 years, learning the ropes of the business. Not that you're ever going to know everything, but just understanding. Like I came up with all the sales processes in the agency, so the same sales processes I teach today, from the new business PNC sales conversation to life insurance to pivots. I actually was part of that agent's process of putting those processes together, those conversations, because I was the leading team member in his agency, and that's still what we teach today at Weaver Sales Academy. But ultimately, I learned the ropes. 3 years, started a scratch insurance agency with my wife. So we work for the farm, Big Red, and started a scratch insurance agency 2 months after we got married. So we had a total of $5,000 to our name. Probably shouldn't even have been given a business opportunity, but we had a proven track record of success because I was a team member that could produce 100 plus apps a month every single month. So had a proven track record of success. Started that business with my wife, and we went all in. We burned the boat. She quit her W-2 job, and we just kind of made it happen. And then, long story short, I mean, we did really well every year. I mean, we were in a low premium market. We were growing by $1 million a year in premium every single year. We were qualifying for the trips, the trophies. We were making money. But my peers started to reach out, and it was not that way for my peers. My peers, I felt like, were working, and I was working a ton of hours too. Don't get me wrong here. I mean, I'm a big believer that anytime you start a business, there's going to have to be some sacrifices until you have enough money to buy back your time and delegate. If you have money from the very beginning, hey, kudos to you. I was not one of those. I was a 26-year-old that couldn't get a loan at a bank, don't have a rich family. And so we just kind of had to grind and make it happen. But in talking with my peers, they were struggling they weren't making money. They didn't know how to train a team. They weren't hitting production. They weren't making any money. They were working long hours, and they were miserable, quite frankly. And I thought it was the greatest thing in the world. So that happened between 2016 and 2017. I talked to almost 500 agents across the country and determined 3 to 5 very similar struggles that they were having. And so that's why in 2018, my wife and I decided to start Weaver Sales Academy, which is a sales training and coaching organization for insurance agency owners that want to delegate their training when it comes to personal lines, auto, fire, life. That's what we really specialize in at Weaver Sales Academy. Ultimately, we created a online sales school for licensed sales producers, and we'd also had a few other businesses along the way with the agency. But in 2022, we made a decision to actually exit the agency along with 3 of our other sales organizations to do the coaching full time. So it was a tough decision, but it was a decision. We have a passion for coaching and training. We believe we're the best in the business at what we do. And I didn't feel good about just being just like somebody wouldn't hire a part-time insurance agent as their insurance advisor, someone shouldn't be hiring a part-time coach to come in and coach and train their team. So we went full bore with it, and now we help out a little over 5,000 insurance professionals across the country.
5,000.
Yeah,
That's
man.
a good number. Now, I'm going to ask some tough questions. 5,000. How do you have time to help all 5,000? Is it all throughout your day? Is it, weekly training, monthly training? Is it just, these are the software that we record and then people just go on there to watch it? I mean, what's a breakdown of, say Farmers, Allstate, Farm Bureau, American Family, Independent? I mean, what is the breakdown? Give us some numbers.
We help them all. We help them all. So State Farm is still my biggest customer. So we help a little over 750 State Farm agents. But we're in the hundreds on definitely Allstate, Farmers, American Family, Country Financial. So that was one of the main reasons why we decided to actually leave, is so we could help out more people. And how we've built our system is to allow agents, because agents, as a business owner, you don't only pay for information, you pay for organization. And look, there's hundreds of training companies out there. I actually think the coaching and training space is a little watered down, in my opinion. Nothing wrong with it. I think every trainer and coach, I hope that they're doing it for the right reasons, and I believe that everybody can help everybody. But what we do significantly different is we built truly an online sales training curriculum for licensed producers. So it's not just ran as like a mastermind group, and there's nothing wrong with mastermind groups. I think mastermind groups are beautiful things. I invest in mastermind groups myself every single year. But when it comes to actually training somebody in how to an elevator pitch, a rapport building, a discovery conversation, presentation, getting comfortable overcoming objections, asking for the sell 3 times, how to have a financial appointment with a customer, how to take pivots and turn them into opportunities. Number one, you have to have extremely short form video content in today's times, because the people's attention spans are at an all-time low. So when I left the actual sales space and started training, I actually invested a lot of money into myself to understand the psychology of learning behavior. And so you have to be able to read it, you have to be able to watch it, and you have to be able to listen to it. So for example, we have when you are a customer, you have a unique login. Everybody on your team has a unique login for accountability purposes. And so bam, they're going to read the playbook, they're going to read the flow, then they're going to be able to watch short form video content that explains and breaks down exactly how to do everything that you need them to do. And then we back it up with the actual recorded sales conversations themselves, from elevator pitch to rapport building to discovery to a full-blown auto home life, auto renters, auto home umbrella presentation, to where they read it, they watch it, they listen to it. And that's ultimately how we're able to help so many agents across the country, because it's an on-demand system. Just like somebody enrolls in an online college, it's the same thing. And so that's how we're able to take training off of somebody's plate. We can get a brand new hire, for example, that's selling auto insurance, fire insurance, life insurance, up and selling in 7 days. And by average, they're producing 51 items a month by day 90. And so that's a new hire, which, as you know, Jeff, being in the industry, one of the hardest, and I believe toughest, but yet most critical, is that 90-day success plan for a brand new team member. Because the first 90 days are either going to make or break most team members, in my experience. And that's why having an organized, structured training plan that everybody's trained the same way every single time, that's why we see so much success at Weaver Sales Academy, I believe, because they can just plug them in. By day 90, they know what they should be hitting. If they're not hitting it, they can cut it. Be like, you're not going to make it. You're not coachable. You're not learning enough. And the agency owner doesn't have as much time dedicated to that individual in training them. So we can save you time, energy, and make you money. That's what we do at Weaver Sales.
So what is the biggest account you have today of total team members that is signed up with Weaver Sales Academy? Thank you for all your support to our channel. Here is a quick word from our sponsor. Please click on the link below in the comment section to sign up for a demo with Track AI.
What if your insurance sales conversations could work harder for you? Meet Track, your AI-powered conversation intelligence partner. Track automatically captures and analyzes every customer interaction, providing instant call summaries, risk analysis, and AI-driven coaching insights. Say goodbye to manual note-taking and hello to more selling time. Track handles the admin work while you handle the revenue. Fully integrated with your favorite platforms. Plus, get custom AI analysis tailored to your unique business needs. Transform your sales team's performance with Track. Visit track.ai today.
Click the link in the description below to schedule a demo with Track today.
Man, that's hard. I would tell you our average, I like to base everything off averages. So our average agency owner, I would say, has anywhere between 2 to 5 team members, like sales producers. Okay. That's our average. I just got an account done a month or two ago. It was more of an independent agency. I mean, they had 75 agents underneath of them. So we built it to where, we've built it to where a company could actually, a company of 10,000 agents, we built the system to where they could put it directly into their system and train their entire agency force. So we built it to help agency owners that are, hey, the 2.5 to 5, which is your average agency owner across the country, or if a company or independent shop with hundreds of agents underneath them wanted to use us for their training, we've built it to be able to help both.
Gotcha. So you don't have to name names, but think about your competitor, right? Like when you were outside looking in before you launched Weaver Sales Academy, what did you notice that was missing in the environment, whether it's, all State Farmers or State Farm, there's a lot of coaches out there, right? Like people just look at what's happening, what's around today, but it's been around for 20 years. There's been coaching, there has been consulting. I mean, whether a small group of 5 to 10 agents or someone who's taking hundreds and thousands of agents, what did you notice that everyone was doing that was missing?
So we were actually one of the very first ones to market with the so it's very popular today. Everybody has a video library. All right. We were actually one of the very first to market in the insurance space, specifically in the captive space, with that type of on-demand training system, because I feel like traditional coaches and trainers, and I still do this today, like we'll go around and we do workshops, we'll do presentations in person. And I love that. I love shaking hands. I love getting to meet people in person. But the ability to help an agent virtually or be able to help an entire audience virtually, just like this podcast, Jeff, just like everything that we do, you can help thousands virtually and give them the power at their fingertips to get better if they choose to get better. And so that's why we built Weaver Sales Academy, because it was a low investment option to be able to delegate the training to an expert to make sure your team was trained the same way every single time. And so I would say we were one of the pioneers when it comes to that on-demand system. And quite frankly, no one has yet built anything like we did with the on-demand sales training system that we've created. But then we back it up with the live trainings on an every week basis as well, which is really important for that continued live coaching. And so I think that back then in 2018, when we created it, I mean, we sit on a plane going, how we created Weaver Sales is we were actually on a plane ride to New Zealand. So we had about a 15-hour plane ride. My wife and I we sipped on some cheap wine, created a business plan, got back in January, man, and we lived this was in our little starter home. I mean, it was 1,100 square foot split level home in the Midwest. We're from Kansas City. We recorded it. It took us forever because I'd never recorded anything on camera. And so she would actually be downstairs. We had to turn our furnace off because it was so loud that you couldn't run your furnace and record at the same time. So it's January. She's downstairs in hoodie. She's got her coveralls on. She's covered with blanket and she's recording, and we have to do this and over again. I wish we had more pictures because everybody always talks about how $1 million businesses are created in a garage or a basement of a house. And that's our story. We found a huge need. We wanted to be able to fulfill a need for agency owners to take that training off their plate. And that's why we originally created Weaver Sales Academy, man. And then, does that answer your question? Just that virtual piece back in 2018, which was not offered really at that time. It was still pretty traditional coaching. The only way you could get coached was hiring somebody to come to your office or going to a seminar or workshop.
Yeah, that answers your question. So if I am an agency owner, I'm looking, to compare your product, your program to others. Do you also offer training for the agency owner and also sales managers of the company?
So the sales management, Weaver Sales Academy is great for that. From a business owner, from like a leadership standpoint, we are right now at Weaver Sales Academy, what we are is truly a program or company designed to take the training off your plate for your licensed sales producer. So the benefit here is it's going to give you processes and systems from new business, P&C processes, to prospecting, to appointments, to pivots, to how to structure your day. And that's really what our primary focus is on, because that's the need we fulfilled. So from a sales manager standpoint, it's going to teach them exactly, hey, this is what they should sound like. Here are the activities they should be doing to be successful. But within our program, there's really no business owner or leadership type of coaching. It's specifically sales, income producing activities, turning your salespeople into sales professionals is really what our goal is at Weaver Sales Academy.
Gotcha. So that's your focus. Understand. If you can go into your podcast, how that get started, and also I saw something recently that you attended an event with guys like Andrew Filler, and after the podcast, talk a little bit about that event. So I'd love to hear about it.
Yeah, man. So the podcast started actually when in 2022. So in January of 2022, when we exited the insurance agency along with those other businesses and wanted to do the coaching and training full time, I'm a huge believer in giving as much value as possible to the marketplace, to our industry. I tell everybody today, man, if I won the Powerball, I wouldn't charge anybody a dime for what I do. Like, I love what I do. It fires me up. I'm passionate. Now, I'm still a believer that if you don't pay for something, you're not going to get the most out of it. So you do need to be paying. You need to be investing in yourself. But the podcast is one of those free tools that we have a lot of feedback on, just like you have positive feedback, Jeff. And we wanted to create it just to give agents and producers the ability to have access to free information that can help them be better at their career, be better at what they do every single day. So initially, that's how the Insurance Buzz was formed. That's how me and you met. We've met a lot of really great individuals within the industry that come on, share their ideas on how they're successful, and we hope that the Insurance Buzz changes people's lives, and it's an absolutely free. So you can either check it out on Spotify, Apple, YouTube. A lot of people like videos today. So YouTube, we put every single episode on YouTube. And yeah, Andrew Filer, I just had him on a webinar, and he was talking about internet leads. Filer, if you don't follow him, I highly recommend checking out Andrew Filer. He puts out a lot of great content, just like myself and Jeff do every single day. He's definitely a thought leader in the industry, doing really, really big things. I think he's grown at over $40 million book of business now in 6 years. So doing really, really good things. But yeah, man, that was just a webinar over internet leads and how to maximize what things you should be doing in the internet lead space to be successful.
Out of your time at podcast, how many episodes are you on?
We're at almost 300.
Nice.
Yeah.
Who are some of the most memorable guests that you had over the time?
Well, I'm talking to
podcast journey. Oh, stop.
Oh yeah, man. That's why we've had you on twice. So you've been one of our favorites. Andrew Filer is a great one, man. We've had so many great guests. Corey Reichman is another Allstate guy. He was Allstate's Agent of the Year last year. So many great guests. I don't know. I'm gonna lean on you. You were one that stood out. So,
man, tough bar. I have to come back one day. And then you know what? Something you said earlier that just recorded with me. You're from Kansas City, right?
Yeah, man. We're the town of best. We got the best barbecue. We have the best football, and we have the best insurance training program in the country. So we are the city of best, baby.
And you guys getting soccer for FIBA World Cup coming up.
We are. Yeah, 2026.
So that's on my checklist of things to do with my son. I want to, create memories, do cool things with my son. And, for FIBA, we want to travel around and attend some of the games. So I want to come in town of Kansas City. I had never been there before. So Michael, would you do like a little host? Maybe we can get like other cool agents involved in this and then get them to come to your town. And we do like maybe it's like an in-person podcast one day, right? And then we can even do some barbecue, like compare, is Kansas City really the home of the barbecues?
Oh, we're the home of the barbecues. You come to Kansas City, I'll give you the best barbecue you've ever had, Jeff.
Okay.
Yeah, man, I love that.
So I'm a variety fan, right? So I love all things barbecue. So if we are talking about that plate, what is my top 3 on my plate in Kansas City?
So my top 3 are going to be your traditionals. It's going to be your pulled pork, it's going to be your ribs, and it's going to be your brisket.
That's a 3, huh?
Yep, those are going to be my 3 I recommend.
Okay. What about Chiefs game? Do you attend Chiefs games?
Oh man, if you've never been to Arrowhead, it is an experience. It is loud. The people are super nice. So that's the best thing about Kansas City, is it is what I say is a small town, big city feel. You can come to the game. It's going to be fun. It's going to be competitive. But at the end of the day, like win or lose, Chiefs fans are good. Like they're kind. You're not going to get too rowdy with anybody. And it's just when you go to a stadium and you can't even hear yourself think because it's so loud, that is the situation you're in. If you've never been to a Chiefs game at Arrowhead, it is an experience I highly recommend putting on the bucket list.
Do you guys do tailgating?
We do. Oh, best tailgates.
Barbecue and tailgating?
Oh yeah.
All right, listeners, if you're going to a Kansas City game, make sure you hit up Michael Weaver and his wife, and then bring your family and do tailgate with them. I got a couple of buddies of mine. I will connect with you offline, and they're diehard Chief fans. You probably tailgate in the same parking lot. You don't even know these are a bunch of insurance guys. So I'll connect with you offline on them. I'm coming back. I'm coming back to that event. You guys recently had a conference event where it's like a mastermind event, and a lot of insurance agents attended. Is that right?
Yeah, so we're doing a few things right now. So we're doing one big need that we see, Jeff, is what you asked me about earlier. So Weaver Sales Academy is really, I believe that riches are in the niches. You can't do everything for everyone. And so that's why at Weaver Sales Academy, we wanted to really specialize in, hey, you hire us to train your producers and take your producers off your plate, get them trained, get your tenured team members up and crushing goals. Like the average tenured team member that joins us sees an average increase in auto fire life production of 40% by day 90. But what we've started doing outside of Weaver Sales Academy, and I think what you're talking about is our CEO Pro class. And so you're going to see that happen more, specifically in 2025. And what that is dedicated to is exactly what you were talking about earlier, is the leadership and business owner processes, practices, what you need to be doing to lead your team and become the CEO in your business with processes and systems, leadership, delegation, consistent communication. So I'm teaming up with some of the best in the industry from different companies to talk about the different ways that they're successful. So I believe that's what you were talking about. We did have a tremendous one, and we plan on rolling a few more out in 2025. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Would you tease us a little bit with what's coming in 2025? Like, what are the things, ideas?
Yeah, so 2025, I think, look, the industry is, and I'd love to get your perspective on this too, but I believe that the industry, what I say is you've got the old school way of doing things, but with a new school twist. And what I mean by that is 79% of millennials say they want a relationship with their financial advisor. 83% of Gen Zers say they want a relationship. So at the end of the day, we're still in a leadership business. We're still in the people business. We're still in the relationship business. As an insurance professional, the better relationships you can have with your customers, the more important that is going into the future. And this has nothing to do with what we are doing at Weaver Sales Academy. This is just what I believe an agency of the future looks like in 2025 and beyond, is you have to have the ability to meet with people virtually. You have to have the ability to lead a team remotely. You have to have the ability to help more people out in more ways. But what's never going to go away is the ability to establish that person-to-person human connection and build a relationship built off of commonalities, because that is the agent of the future. When we start talking about tech and AI coming, look, AI and tech is meant to enhance the customer relationship, not replace the customer relationship. And I believe those agents that are continuously evolving, investing into themselves, becoming sales professionals, they're going to do nothing but maximize on an amazing opportunity in the future. For those that choose not to change, choose not to adapt, choose not to become a professional and what I call just an order taker, those individuals, I believe, will be replaced by AI or tech within the next 5 to 10 years. And so I believe in transformational selling versus transactional selling. And so everything that we're doing at Weaver Sales Academy, and even some partners that I have helping us out with like CEO Pro and things of that nature, we are dedicated towards helping agents become the agency of the future, whether you want to just be that small business owner with a small team, or whether you are looking to have the CEO mindset, have a team of 5, 10, 15, 20, 50 people under you. That's really that's really where we're going in the future in 2025 and 2026, is how can we help people become the business owner, CEO that they want to be, and give them the power and the tools to be able to do that successfully by learning from individuals like me, Jeff, you, Jeff, and other individuals that have made a lot of mistakes along the way of of really expensive learning lessons through just the inability of, hey, I didn't know I needed this processor system, or I didn't know I needed to communicate this consistently, or I thought I could throw money at this and it would fix the problem. All right. So a lot of learning lessons along the way, just like you've experienced. And if we can take those learning lessons to where new business owners, new agents entering the industry don't have to learn those lessons and can learn from us, that's a giant win. So that's ultimately what we're trying to focus on in 2025 and 2026 is how do we continue to take training off of agency owners' plates to help them turn their sales team into true sales professionals, while also offering the leadership business advice coaching programs to help set them up for success in the future as a business owner, entrepreneur, leader, depending on how they want their business to look.
All right. That was awesome. And I'm going to watch you grow, and I'm going to be on the sideline, cheer you on. So before we go, give our audience your 2024, 2025 goal. Give it to us. What is a comfortable goal for Michael, and what is an uncomfortable goal you set for yourself?
An uncomfortable goal for myself would be doubling the amount of agency owners and producers that we help, so go from 5,000 to 10,000. I'd like to double that in 2025. I believe that we are the best in the business when it comes to the sales training aspect of things, by truly being able to take it off of agency owners' plates. So that would be a big scary goal. A smaller goal of ours that is going to be achievable, has nothing to do with professional, but we're going to go to Africa next year and see a safari, and then even do like a 2 weeks in Africa, and then even this is a big goal, but it's an immediate goal, is I just wrote a new book called Quote 3, How to Make Multiple Six Figures in Any Sales Organization. I defy the lie that I believe we've all been told in sales, and that's to just do more, make more calls, do more activities, hire more people, spend more money. Did I work more hours? Did I say spend more money? So I wrote this book to simplify success for specifically if you are in sales. This book is for you, from understanding the entire scope of sales with how to structure your day for success, to creating your ideal customer, to how to market your ideal customer, to what that sales conversation sounds like to turn a prospect into a paying customer, and then to drive a referral from every single customer that you help out in a professional way. So I have a goal of becoming an Amazon bestseller, not for the recognition, but if I become a bestseller, that means a lot of people have this book in their hands, which is exactly why I wrote this book, because I think sales is the greatest opportunity in the world. Yet a lot of people struggle to even make ends meet. And I believe this book will change the way you look at sales. I believe it will change the way of what you do every single day. If you're a sales manager or business owner, this is going to be the first book that you want every single new hire to read, to help them understand what it takes to actually be successful in the sales role. So this book comes out October 7th. I don't know if this episode will air or not, but if it has or it hasn't, it would mean the world if you went and picked up a copy. Quote3book.com, quote3book.com, and that would help me become a bestseller. But ultimately, it just is helping you as well make more money.
Nice. Now, I don't just have you as my community voice, sales consulting, training, and podcast. Now you're author. So you are selecting all those buckets. Michael, pleasure to have you on. Love to have you on again in a year. And maybe we can have you and your wife both on together and talk about that dynamic duo of family business and working a similar goal. So
yeah, man. Today was great, Jeff. I appreciate the opportunity. I would love to come on with Courtney, because we actually help a lot of business owners as well that work with their spouses, because it's not always easy. It is a challenge, but I mean, my wife and I have now opened up 5 businesses together, and I think that is a huge competitive advantage by working with your spouse, because me and her have different strengths. but we also understand what's going on in the business at the same time. The hardest part about working with your spouse is creating the boundaries to where it's not all work all the time. But yeah, man, I would love to come on with her because she is a wealth of knowledge and obviously a much different perspective than me. So, but either way, Jeff, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate what you do for the industry. I appreciate everything that you are doing to help insurance professionals as well. And I appreciate the opportunity to come on today, brother.
Thank you for coming on. Have a good one.